So now we'll see question number 9. So the question is, find the compound interest on rupees 16,000 for 2 years at 5% per annum compounded annually. So here interest is calculated annually. That is, for every 12 months interest is calculated. So compound interest is asked for 2 years. So easily we can find this compound interest using this I1 I2 concept. So what is compound interest for 2 years in this I1 I2 pattern? It is 2I1 plus I2. So we'll see the working now, and we'll see how to get the answer from the options itself. So what is I1? It is interest on the principal for the first year, and I2 is interest on the interest for the second year. So interest on the principal for first year is 16,000 at 5%. So what is 5% of 16,000? So it is 800. So we will double the interest to find this compound interest. It is 2I1. So when this 800 is doubled, so what will be the value? It is 1600. So simple interest will be 1600. So compound interest will be a little more than this simple interest. And now what will be the answer? So the option which suits our working is 1640. So compound interest for 2 years at 5% is 1640, and we'll see if our guess is correct. So we'll see the working now. So what is compound interest in terms of I1 and I2 for 2 years? So it is equal to 2I1 plus I2. So this is for 2 years. So we are asked to find compound interest for 2 years. So here CI for 2 years is 2I1 plus I2. And what is I1? So it is interest on the principal for the first year. The simple interest on the principal. So using P and R by 100. P, N is for 1 year, R by 100. And what is I2? So I2 is interest on this interest. So it is I1 into R by 100. Now in our question, what is value of I1? So principal is 16,000 into the rate is 5%. So it is 800. Now we have got I1 as rupees 800. And now what is I2? So I2 is interest on the interest. So I1 into R by 100. So we have got I1 as 800, and for this 5%. So what is I2? It is 40 rupees. Now what is compound interest for 2 years? So double this interest, I1, double this I1, 2I1 plus add this I2, interest on this interest. So it is 1600 plus 40. So compound interest for 2 years is 1640. So answer is option C. So compound interest compounded annually at 5% on a sum of rupees 16,000. So we have got easily using the I1 I2 concept. So answer is rupees 1640. So now we'll see what's the answer is. So answer is option C, rupees 1640. So the compound interest on rupees 16,000 for 2 years at 5% is rupees 1640. And the shortcut here is, we found I1, that is interest on the principal for first year, and I2, interest for the interest on the second year. So I1 is 5% of 16,000, it is 800. I2 is 5% of I1. So 5% of 800, it is 40. So compound interest is, so double I1 plus 40. So it is 1640. So we'll see the next question. So question number 10. So the question is, Mr. Suresh invested 1 lakh in a bank in a fixed deposit which fetches an interest of 8% per annum. So if the interest is calculated for every 6 months, what is the interest which Mr. Suresh will earn at the end of 1 year? So here compound interest is asked. So for how many years? 1 year. So for 1 year compound interest is asked. But what is the period which they calculate the interest? It is for every 6 months. For every 6 months it is half yearly. So if the rate given is 8% per annum, for 6 months what will be the rate percent? So it is 4%. So for 6 months rate percent will be 4% and we are asked to calculate for 1 year. So in 1 year, if we calculate interest for every 6 months, so in how many times we will calculate the interest? It is twice. So twice we will calculate the interest. So though it is for 1 year, as it is half yearly, we can use the same n equal to 2 years concept. So here period is 2, we can use the same 2I1 I2 concept to find the compound interest on sum of 1 lakh at 8%. So we will see the working. So here using the same I1 I2 concept for number of years 2. So here period is 2 because half yearly 1 year is asked. Say in 1 year we have 2 6 months. So twice the interest is calculated. So we can use the same n equal to 2 concept where compound interest for 2 years is 2I1 plus I2. But here we have to take the rate as half. So rate percent given is equal to 8%. For half yearly rate percent will be 4. So taking the rate as 4%, we can calculate compound interest for this 2 periods. So here principal is 1 lakh. A number of years it is 1 but half yearly. So for half yearly 1 year, so we can use the same n equal to 2 concept because twice we will calculate the interest. So Ci for this 2 period is I1 plus I2. And what is the rate percent? The rate percent here is half of 8, 4%. Now we will calculate I1 and I2. So in this 1 lakh, the rate percent is 4. So what is 4% of 1 lakh? It is 4,000. And now we will calculate I2. That is 4% of this I1, 4% of 4,000. So what is 4% of 4,000? So it is 160. Now what is compound interest for 1 year calculated half yearly? So we will double this 4,000. So that is 8,000 plus 160. So answer is 8,160. So it is equal to 2 into 4,000 plus 160. So it is 8,000 plus 160. So interest is 8,160. So though it is though it is for 1 year, so as it is half yearly, so the period is 2, we can use the same I1, I2 for n equal to 2. So 2I1 plus I2 will give you compound interest for 2 periods. So here when the rate is given 8% per annum, so we will take half the rate for half yearly, 4%. And now I1 is 4,000 and I2 is 4% of 4,000, 160. So now multiplying this with 2 and adding, compound interest is 8,160. Now answer is 8,160, option D. The compound interest calculated half yearly for 1 year on the amount 1 lakh at 8% is rupees 8,160, option D. Now the working is, so calculate I1. So 4% of 1 lakh is 4,000 and 4% of 4,000 is 160. So double this 4,000 and add 160. So answer is 8,160.